Today we'll be looking at the life of Charlie Munger. Munger was born in Omaha, Nebraska. As a teenager, he worked at Buffett and Son, a grocery store owned by Warren Buffett's grandfather. His father, Alfred Case Munger, was a lawyer. His grandfather was Thomas Charles Munger, a district court judge and state representative. He enrolled in the University of Michigan, where he studied mathematics. During his time in college, he joined the fraternity Sigma Phi Society, and in early 1943, a few days after his 19th birthday, he dropped out of college to serve in the United States Army Air Corps, where he became second lieutenant after receiving a high score on the Army General Classification Test. Then he was ordered to study meteorology at Caltech in Pasadena, California, the town he was to make his home. Through the GI Bill, Munger took a number of advanced courses through several universities. When he applied to his father's alma mater, Harvard Law School, the dean of admissions rejected him because Munger had not completed an undergraduate degree. However, the dean relented after a call from Roscoe Pound, the former dean of Harvard Law and a Munger family friend. Munger excelled in law school, graduating magna cum laude with a JD in 1948. At Harvard, he was a member of the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau. In college and the Army, he developed an important skill, card playing. What you have to learn is to fold early when the odds are against you. Or if you have a big edge, back it heavily because you don't get a big edge often. Opportunity comes, but it doesn't come often. So seize it when it does come. Investment career. He moved with his family to California, where he joined the law firm Wright and Garrett, later Mussick, Peeler, and Garrett. In 1962, he founded and worked as a real estate attorney at Munger, Tolles, and Olson. He then gave up the practice of law to concentrate on managing investments and later partnered with Otis Booth in real estate development. He then partnered with Jack Wheeler to form Wheeler, Munger and Company, an investment firm with a seat on the Pacific Coast Stock Exchange. He wound up Wheeler, Munger & Co. in 1976 after losses of 32% in 1974, 1973, and 31% in 1974. Although Munger is better known for his association with Buffett, he ran an investment partnership of his own from 1962 to 1975. According to Buffett's essay, The Super Investors of Graham and Doddsville, published in 1984, Munger's investment partnership generated compound annual returns of 19.8% during the 1962 to 75 period, compared to a 5% return of the Dow. Munger was previously the chairman of Wesco Financial Corporation, now a wholly-owned subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway. It began as a savings and loan association, but eventually grew to control Precision Steel Corp., Court Furniture Leasings, Kansas Bankers, Surrey Company, and other ventures. Wesco Financial also held a concentrated equity portfolio of the U.S. $1.5 billion in companies such as Coca-Cola, Wells Fargo, Procter & Gamble, Kraft Foods, U.S. Bancorp, and Goldman Sachs. Munger believes that holding a concentrated number of stocks that he knows extremely well will in the long term produce superior returns. Wesco is based in Pasadena, California, Munger's adopted hometown. Pasadena is also the site of the company's annual shareholders meeting, which are typically held on the Wednesday or Thursday after the most famous Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. Munger's meetings were nearly as legendary in the investment community as those he co-hosts with Buffett in Omaha. Such meetings were often perfunctory, but Munger interacted with the other Wesco shareholders at considerable length, sometimes speculating about what Benjamin Franklin would do in a given situation. Meeting notes would have posted on the Futile Finance website, but no updates exist beyond 2011. Investment philosophy. Elementary worldly wisdom. In multiple speeches and in the book Poor Charlie's Almanac, the wit and wisdom of Charlie T. Munger's worldly wisdom consists of a set of mental models framed as a lattice work to help solve critical business problems. Munger, along with Buffett, is one of the main inspirations behind the book Seeking Wisdom, From Darwin to Munger. Author Peter Blevin explained his key learnings from both Munger and Buffett in 2007 interview: how to think about businesses and investing, how to behave in life, the importance of ethics and honesty, how to approach problems, but foremost, how to reduce the chance of meeting problems. Bevelin stated that previously he was lacking the Munger ability to unlearn my own best love ideas. Munger states that high ethical standards are integral to his philosophy. At the 2009 Wesco Financial Corporation annual meeting, he said, "Good businesses are ethical businesses. A business model that relies on trickery is doomed to fail." During an interview and Q&A session at Harvard Westlake School on January 19, 2010, Munger referred to American philosopher Charles Frankel in his discussion on the financial crisis of 2007 to '08 and the philosophy of responsibility. Munger explained that Frankel believed the system is responsible in proportion to the degree that the people who make the decisions bear the consequences. So to Charlie Frankel, you don't create a loan system where all the people who make loans promptly dump them on somebody else through lies and twaddle, and they don't bear the responsibility when the loans are good or bad. To Frankel, this is immoral. This is an irresponsible system. Lollapalooza effect. Munger uses the term Lollapalooza effect for multiple biases, tendencies, or mental moods acting in compound with each other at the same time in the same direction. With the Lollapalooza effect, itself a mental model, the result is often extreme, due to the confluence of the mental models, biases, or tendencies acting together, greatly increasing the likelihood of acting irrationally. During a talk at Harvard in 1995 entitled The Psychology of Human Misjudgment, Munger mentions Tupperware parties and open outcry auctions. We explain 3, 4, 5 of these things work together, and it turns human brains into mush, meaning that normal people would be highly likely to succumb to the multiple irrational tendencies acting in the same direction. In the Tupperware party, you have reciprocation, consistency, and commitment tendency, and social proof. The hostess gave the party and tendency is to reciprocate. You say you like certain products during the party, so purchasing would be consistent with the views you've committed to. Other people are buying, which is social proof. In the open outcry auction, there's social proof of others bidding, reciprocation tendency, commitment to buy the item, and deprivation, superreaction syndrome, i.e. sense of loss. The latter is an individual's sense of loss of what he believes should be or his. These biases often occur at either conscious or subconscious level, and both microeconomic and macroeconomic scale. Principle of inversion. Munger is famous for his quote, "All I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there." This thinking was inspired by the German mathematician Carl Jacobi, who often solved difficult problems by following a simple strategy. Man must immer or loosely translated, invert, always invert. Jacobi knew that it is in the nature of things that many hard problems are best solved when they're addressed backwards. Munger counsels, indeed, many problems can't be solved forward. Wealth and philanthropy. As of March 2019, Munger has an estimated net worth of $1.6 billion, according to Forbes magazine. Munger is a major benefactor of the University of Michigan. In 2007, Munger made a $3 million gift to the University of Michigan Law School for lighting improvements in Hutchins Hall and the William W. Cook Legal Research Building, including the noted reading room. In 2011, Munger made a gift to the law school, contributing $20 million for renovations to the Lawyers Club housing complex, which will cover the majority of the $39 million costs. In 1997, the Mungers donated $1.8 million to the Marlborough School in Los Angeles, of which Nanny Munger was an alumni. The couple also donated to Polytechnic School in Pasadena and the Los Angeles YMCA. On December 28, 2011, Munger donated 10 shares of Berkshire Hathaway Class A stock, currently valued at $329,405 per share, or $3.29 million total, to the University of Michigan. Munger and his wife, Nancy B. Munger, have been major benefactors of Stanford University. Nancy Munger was an alumni of Stanford, and Wendy Munger, Charlie Munger's daughter from a previous marriage, was also an alumni. Now, forming Charlie's investing outlook. One of the most enduring concepts in Benjamin Graham's book, titled The Intelligent Investor, is Mr. Market. Usually, Mr. Market is a temperate and reasonable fellow, but some days he is gripped by irrational fear or greed. Graham cautioned the investor to carefully use his own unemotional judgment of value instead of relying on the often manic-depressive behavior of the financial markets. Similarly, Charlie recognized that even among the most competent and motivated of people, decisions are not always made on purely rational basis. For this reason, he considers the psychological factors of human misjudgment some of the most important mental models that can be applied to investment opportunity. The influence of Benjamin Graham, the intelligent investor. So, Mr. Market. In the short run, the market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it is a weighing machine. Valuation. Investment is most successful when it is most businesslike. Investors should purchase stocks like they purchase groceries, not like they purchase perfume. Paradox. It's not the bad ideas that you do in, it's the good ideas. And you may say that can't be so. That's paradoxical. What he or Graham meant was that if a thing is bad idea, it's hard to overdo. But where there's a good idea with a core of essential and important truth, you can't ignore it. And then it's so easy to overdo it. So the good ideas are a wonderful way to suffer terribly if you overdo them. Thank you.